Hello, 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 hello from Roatan, Honduras. We are on vacation, looking out, sitting here looking out at the very southern Caribbean, like the Latin American Caribbean. Amazing little island off the coast of, well, kind of a big island off the coast of Honduras, and incredible scuba diving. This is the first time I've been diving in many years, and that's my passion. Those of you that know me the best know that I studied marine biology and that my passion is scuba. But when you live in the desert, you don't get very many opportunities for scuba, but this is a welcome treat. And so anyhow, I decided to record a little something here. I recently been talking with my partner Amy about creating video content and talking about certain things. And so one of the things that she suggested was to talk a little bit about what is the field, because I use this kind of terminology all the time. And so yeah, I wanted to take this as an opportunity to do a little summary here about what is the field. So the field, when I talk about that we clear energy from the field, that we get activations from the field. I do channeled readings, pulling information in from the field. What does that all mean? The field would be the so-called unified field. The field that links all creation, all of what we consider to be the universe, all that exists is linked through a field of energy and consciousness that is woven through the very fabric of material reality. It's the field is at the access point where the electrons even are spinning around an atom and winking in and out of existence, whatever, 1 billion times a second or whatever, 1 trillion times a second, whatever they say that it is, who knows. But it's in that winking in and out, there's access in the field. So literally every atom, everything is interconnected into the field. And the field is conscious, but it's like neutral. It's like an infinite field of potentiality, of possibility, and all things rise into form out of the field. So, those that believe in God could even say that God is the field, although it's, God's a little bit more personified maybe than saying the field. But yeah, it's also, the field is also what's called the universal light grid. You've probably heard me say that a lot. The universal light grid is a grid or a matrix. I like matrix, because it has all the negative connotations because of the AI Matrix, like the movie, but it's like maybe let's say lattice, like it's like a lattice work. The universal light grid is like a higher dimensional lattice work that also underpins all of reality. Every level of manifestation, it's there, and sometimes you can see it, like people have experienced it in plant medicine experiences, maybe breath work experiences, where you see the honeycomb, rainbow colored honeycombs maybe all across all of the sky and across all of reality. But it also, the universal light grid is beyond visible light, for sure. And I had an experience of it once during a medicine ceremony, and I was taken out of the room and taken into a state of existence where the only thing that existed was this like grid. It looked like a tic-tac-toe, but it was multi-dimensional. It was going in all directions into infinity, and there weren't like distances. It wasn't like that, like in the way that we think of like drawing even a grid, but it was like all of existence existed on this grid in this field, and they were like orbs of light or sound is the only thing that existed. And they would go whipping by on the grid, almost like UFOs. But they were like warbling, making these warbling sounds, and I was certain and knowing at that moment and at that vibration that the only thing that exists in all of the universe are sound and light and vibratory frequencies that are moving on the universal light grid. And so as I came to understand this and have it be shown to me, I began working with the grid, you know, with the field, going back to the original terminology, the field, that when we're working dimensionally, we can work outside of time. You know, if you can even visualize putting yourself onto that universal light grid, or visualize energy that is, you know, equal and vibrating across all time and space and dimension within the field, that it's like within every particle that exists, and within the void space, the alleged void space, that field is accessible, and so you can therefore consciously engage energy is like the basis of doing energetic healing work, is that if you can perceive energy and you're in energetic alignment, like in integrity, you can work with those energies, and being able to feed information into the field and then retrieve information out of the field. It's kind of the same thing, like it follows your intention. The intention of the human being is like the radio tuner, you know, tuning in a radio and getting the signal, you know, and your intention, your consciousness can focus and tune that in and make the alignment then that allows you to pull in that kind of higher dimensional information, higher source information, you know, from the field. And so, you know, there's a lot of that pops up then in my work when we're working with people. When we clear energy, sometimes it's like the gradient. We clear a distortion, and you're left in this pure receptive state that allows energy and information to pour into you from the field. It like comes in directly from the field. It's like moving on a gradient, like a ball rolling downhill. It's an unavoidable movement of energy into your personal expression of the field, which is your field, your aura, your luminous egg. And so we can also take things out of your luminous egg, you know, we clear that and we send it into the field to be transmuted, and the energy is returned. It's like broken apart and returned into the field, into the unlimited source of energy that is underneath all of existence. So yeah, that's a little primer on the field. And what do you think about the field? How do you work with the field? You know, what are some ways in which you see the field in manifestation? You know, maybe that's like when you think of your mom and then your mom calls you, you know, like right away, like that's information traveling through the field between resonant vibratory states, and you know, you and your mother, you know, in that example. So now, what are some other ways that you might experience the field? So anyhow, just a quick little update here from Roatan, Honduras, as I'm about to head back out and go diving shortly in here. We're going to take one more look. Pretty amazing, huh? Totally idyllic. Very cool.